Hello, I'm making a YouTube video today. It is January 12th, 2017. The title of my YouTube video today is called Angela Seeks Federal Justice for Barbara. This is part one of my YouTube video, and my reason for making it in part one is to explain some things that happened back in the 1970s. My mother had a baby. This is a picture of my little sister. Her name is Denise. Her name was Denise. She was born sickly and she had a bad heart. She was born in 1972. She passed away on Christmas Eve in 1975. What happened was my mother started having Bible studies with Jehovah's Witnesses until she became a Jehovah's Witness. It was a man in a congregation. His name was Howard Philip Gerard. My mother started going to the Kingdom Hall in Inglewood on Manchester Avenue across the street from Kaiser Permanente Hospital. That was the worst thing she could have ever done. But anyway, she became a Jehovah's Witness. She got baptized. I went to the Kingdom Hall with my mother for 12 years, from the ages of 9 through 21 years of age. She was married to my sister's father, and they got a divorce when I was 16 in 1983. This man, Howard Gerard, was a federal government employee. He worked for American Airlines for 20 to 30 years, and he was preying on my mother all the time, and no one ever knew that he was preying on her. He's a very good manipulator. He's a good liar. He's a good controller. He had his first wife, who he was married to. Her name was Jamie, and they had a daughter named Sabrina. Him and his first wife, they were always getting into great big arguments. Jamie was always going to the elders about Howard, telling the elders how Howard was always doing whatever he was doing. And he would turn around and say, I'm not doing nothing. She's the crazy one. She's the crazy one. Okay, that's nice and fine. So anyway, my mother, when I was 21, I moved in with my mother and this crazy man named Howard Philip Gerard. He's not even from this country. He's from a whole nother country. He's from Canada, him and his family. So after my mother got married to him, I was told I couldn't be in the wedding because I was not a baptized Jehovah's Witness. But his daughter, she was in the wedding, and she wasn't a baptized Jehovah's Witness either. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what happened when I was living there? This man would do a lot of strange things. He would do things like when he go to work at night, he would do things like lock the door. I never had a door key. He want to call himself locking me inside of his house. He had windows in the bedrooms that would not open up. And this was at the house on 6th Avenue in Inglewood, California at 9729 6th Avenue. The house was so old and raggedy, it needed to just be condemned. This man was so cheap. He started having my mother shopping from Goodwill, Salvation Army, yard sales. My mother was a registered nurse. I am here to warn everybody in America against this man named Howard Philip Gerard. He's going on 65 years. He should have just turned 65 years old. This is a picture of Howard Philip Gerard with my mother, and he tries to put on this facade like him and my mother was so happy together. My mother was not happy with this man, not at all. Okay, she might have been happy taking the vacations, but she was not a happy person with this man. This man, this man would take her on vacations. He would grab her by her arm, come into my house, and I used to have to tell him, let her arm go, or it's going to be a bunch of problems. You don't bring my mother out to my house where I live and start grabbing on my mother's arm. That's what you don't do. Okay, I don't care what she did. So let me go back a little bit. When my little sister passed away in 1975, my mother, the doctor at Children's Hospital, killed my little sister. He overdosed my sister with the wrong medication, and my mother had a chemical imbalance. Because she had a chemical imbalance, she was taken advantage of and she was preyed on. Anyway, to get back to my story, this man, Howard Gerard, I'm telling everybody on this video, the purpose of me making this video is to let you people know, is to let America know these foreigners coming over here in this country, leave these foreigners the hell alone. This man, he was seeking my mother out. He preyed on my mother. She was a registered nurse since 1971 when I was 4 years old. My mother became a registered nurse. I went to my mother's college graduation from El Camino College when I was 4. This man worked for the government. He married my mother because of her title. A lot of these foreigners are doing this. You women don't fall for this. If you see this man at the Kingdom Hall, run for your life. That's the best thing I can tell you. This concludes part 1 of my video. Oh, I'm fixing to go to part 2 now.